Hey King, thanks for clicking on the video. On today's episode of Chronicles of the Lolcows, we are going to be taking a look at my personal favorite Daniel Larson moment, the patio phone charger incident. Daniel's career as a lolcow is mostly characterized by being homeless and having multiple public freakouts, wherein which he commits several crimes. Some are more minor, such as disturbing the peace, but often would escalate into vandalism and even pulling the fire alarm at an Olive Garden due to Daniel believing that they were printing off his nudes in the back of the establishment.
And you? Did I point to you?
I'm performing a citizen's arrest, so the FBI is outside. I have more than enough photos coming in. Okay.
Who are you arresting?
I'm arresting every single person here. I'm arresting all employees.
Didn't you tell me that you're a celebrity?
Yes.
Okay, do people take pictures of celebrities, right?
Right, but you were back in back
Yes.
printing off documents.
I was?
You said that and it's on video.
I was printing off documents?
Yes.
You're okay, so here's the deal. I'm gonna ask you to come over here actually. Over here. They might be on their way.
They might be on their way, but don't know yet. Wow. So in other words, the police are also trolling along with you. So wow, that's a bunch of information now that I needed. Wow, thank you.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hey, whoa, no sir!
I have proof that you guys were back in the back printing off my nudes off of a website. I have the Federal Bureau of Investigation in contact with me. I have an investigation going on.
What you talking to me about?
I don't have to.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Just look at me.
You're just being ridiculous at this point.
Now, this is obviously a very rational response to this occurring. I mean, you gotta pay for those. No one gets to see Daniel in a state of undress without giving Daniel a few doubloons. Therefore, rightfully so, the police did absolutely nothing about this, because it's Daniel Larson that we're talking about here. I've said it in a previous video, but up until Daniel was threatening to blow up the White House, a mall, along with several other bomb threats, I'm pretty sure one was even at a hospital, he was completely immune to the consequences of his actions. Even with all of the threats that eventually got Daniel arrested for the final time, the FBI literally had an agent reaching out to Daniel asking him to pretty please stop instead of just arresting him, which is unfathomable to me, because I feel like that if it was you or I who was doing all the things that Daniel was doing on an almost daily basis, we would have gotten arrested real fast and at the very least spent a few months in jail, which is usually the sentence along with a fine for things like wrongfully pulling a fire alarm. But Daniel, of course, never spent more than a few days or a week in jail before being released just to wreak more havoc on the community, but at least he is finally locked up and being contained now. Even though he was deemed incompetent to stand trial for his crimes, he is being indefinitely detained in a mental facility, which I'll be honest is probably for the best, as Daniel did commit a lot of crimes and absolutely does not deserve his freedom. I don't believe that prison is the best place for Daniel, as he is legitimately crazy, suffering from several mental disorders. A really big factor in the Daniel Larson story is the trolls. Daniel was absolutely steered by these trolls to do a lot of the crazy things that he did, like with the whole Olive Garden incident. That entire thing happened because trolls were texting his phone telling him that they were printing his nudes, and Daniel just believed it on the face of it. I'm not going to dive into all the details about the trolls, as this is something that I want to dive into full detail on in another video that I plan to do, but the short and sweet is that the trolls would pretend to be important people in Daniel's life, such as his father figure, talent agents, celebrities, his lover, and so on, and they would tell him outrageous things all of the time, and Daniel would rarely question this, even if there were two or more people saying that they were his father figure Bob at the same time from different numbers, as he would accept an explanation such as, oh, I'm using multiple phones or something. With that said about the trolls, however, Daniel is by no means an innocent victim in all of this. Yes, he is a mentally unstable man who was homeless, being essentially driven around by a group of bad actors, but Daniel is also not a good person. There are many incidences that he got himself into entirely on his own with no outside influence, along with just having an inappropriate attraction to children, it seems, so please don't feel bad for him. That should lead us pretty good into the incident this video will be focusing on, as this is a situation that Daniel got himself into all on his own. I'll give you my headcanon on how I believe this situation arose, as Daniel doesn't start recording until the action has already begun, more or less. So I believe that Daniel was wandering around this neighborhood, most likely vigorously typing away on his phone, creating a YouTube community post, giving various updates or some sort of rambling that he would do all the time. Suddenly, a notification pops up on his phone saying 15% battery, causing Daniel to panic a bit. Daniel cannot let his phone die. The people need to know what he is currently doing, what his Cash App is, and most importantly, his phone needs to be available in case he needs to capture evidence for the police, should a situation arise where Daniel is in danger. I didn't really mention this earlier, but the reason there is so much footage of all of Daniel's freakouts is that he would record them as evidence to show to the police how awful everyone treats him and such. But anyway, Daniel's lack of battery caused him to scramble, eventually finding a source of power, that being an outlet on a random patio. Daniel, being satisfied, begins to charge his phone. However, the owner of the home, a middle-aged man who likely works very hard for the things that he has, notices that there's some weird homeless person on his porch, so naturally he confronts Daniel and tells him to get off of his property. Now, this is a situation where an immovable object meets an unstoppable force. Daniel needs to charge his phone, so he's not going anywhere. And the homeowner, well, he has rights, and those include not needing to allow homeless people to steal electricity from him. So the homeowner decides to contact the police.
Yes, I have a trespasser sitting on my patio in the front of my house. I'd like this person removed.
Okay, hold on one moment, sir.
Get the fuck out, I'm telling you.
There will be some periods of silence in the beginning here as he gives personal information to the police. We don't dox people here, but we can tell right off the bat that the homeowner is very agitated. It seems that he's already been having a discussion with Daniel. Likely it started off a little bit more civil, but as Daniel refused to comply with the demand of getting off his property, the man's attitude naturally shifted.
Did you fucking hear what I said? Get the fuck out of here. What the fuck is wrong with you?
What's going on there?
I have a trespasser sitting on my porch who doesn't want to leave.
Do you know this party?
No,
Male, female?
I don't know.
You don't know if it's a male or female?
That's what I said.
Do you know what they're wearing?
Yeah. Wearing like a jogging outfit. Red stripe, black pants with a red stripe. Sweatshirt with a backpack. Looks like a homeless person. Needs to get off my property.
Do you know if they have any weapons?
I don't know. If they do, they better show it right now.
And what is your first and last name?
I find it extremely funny that the guy doesn't know if Daniel is male or female. It does make sense though, since Daniel's voice is very high pitched, so he could be mistaken for a really ugly woman, especially since he's wearing some very baggy clothing that hides his body shape. But in all seriousness, this is a very scary situation to be in for the homeowner. I mean, this guy has no idea who Daniel Larson is. As an audience, we have the luxury of knowing that Daniel is practically harmless to most people except himself. I mean, the man unironically failed a 45-pound bench press, for God's sake.
Larson lunches.
Yeah, this is not
Smokers
lightweight.
nights.
Spot him. Okay, I got it.
Spot
Good, I'll spot him. All right, Daniel. Yo, what's up? Yep.
All right.
Anyway though, the homeowner has no idea about this. When the phone operator asks him if Daniel has a weapon and the guy replies saying he doesn't know while backing up, that's a genuinely chilling moment. If this wasn't Daniel, or Daniel was just a little bit more crazy, this situation could have very easily gone south and resulted in one or both of them being seriously injured. There could have even potentially been a loss of life in a situation like this, but thankfully it was just Daniel, so we get to laugh at what comes next.
Okay. If I ever see you on this fucking property again, there's gonna be consequences. Do you understand me? You don't come over here charging your fucking phone and using my fucking electricity. Who the fuck are you? I suggest you get the fuck out of here because they're on their fucking way. Are you gonna wait? Is that what you're waiting for?
I don't know what you're gonna do. I don't know if you're
I'm
gonna.
asking you a fucking question! You better get the fuck off of here! Get the fuck out of here before I fucking move you out of here!
If you take one step closer.
Get the fuck off my property!
If you take one step
Get
closer.
the fuck off my property!
If you take one step closer.
Get the fuck off my fucking property! They're coming for you, you stupid fuck! Don't you understand?
If you.
Why are you fucking here?
If you put one hand on me.
Get the fuck out of here!
Okay, nigger.
Really? It's gonna be like that?
You're threatening me, and I don't
I told you get the fuck
I
off
don't
my
know. I
property.
don't know if you're going to put hands
Did
on me
you
or.
fucking call me a nigger?
This is one of the most hilarious sequences of events that I have ever seen. The homeowner is getting heated at this point, which is incredibly understandable, but he's not laying hands on Daniel, which actually makes sense, since of course he doesn't know if Daniel is armed, but also Daniel is a homeless guy who is obviously very dirty. Who knows what diseases this guy can get from fighting him? I mean, we know that Daniel had scabies. I don't know if he had it at this current moment, but that is definitely one reason not to touch Daniel. But of course, the star of the show was the diabolical N-bomb that Daniel dropped on the guy. Like, it came completely out of nowhere with the hard ER and everything. Now, obviously, I don't condone the use of this kind of language, but it's just so funny to me because Daniel uses this word a lot in his freakouts, but usually the energies are reversed here, with Daniel being the one yelling and getting crazy, but not this time. Daniel was just calm, informing this guy he'd better not take another step toward him. But when his demands weren't met by the homeowner, Daniel made the calculation in his head that the best course of action was to call the guy a racial slur, which is just amazing to me. The homeowner was completely blown away by this, as anyone probably would be, because this truly came out of nowhere, to the point that the homeowner needed to confirm with Daniel that he really just said that to him. It's just an incredible exchange in the most trashy way.
If you're gonna put hands on me.
You better get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. They're coming for you, bud. Whatever the fuck you are, get the fuck out of here. Why are you here? You think you could just come on somebody's fucking property, use their shit and get the fuck out? Who the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of here.
No, because I'm afraid.
What do you mean no?
I'm afraid.
You
if
better
you're.
start walking. I'm gonna give you the opportunity to start walking. What the fuck is your fucking problem?
If you're gonna put hands on me.
Get your fucking ass out of here. Don't fucking come here. Don't you fucking show your face around here again. What the fuck are you gonna do? You want me to fuck you up? Is that what you want? Get the fuck out of here and don't fucking come back. Don't do it, bud. Don't do it.
If you're gonna put hands on me.
Get the fuck out of here.
This entire argument is incredible. The "what do you mean no" just gets me every single time I watch this. I'm happy that it did end without anyone getting hurt. I'm pretty sure the police showed up 45 minutes later or something, long after Daniel was gone, took a report and did absolutely nothing with it, but that was to be expected from law enforcement with dealing with Daniel. But that does wrap up this particular clip. I find this to be the most consistently funny Lolcow moment every time I revisit it, just purely due to its absurdity. And it's a bit unique, especially for a Daniel clip, because the Lolcow is not the one freaking out here. Instead, the Lolcow is taking a verbal beating from a man who has just had enough of the Lolcow's shit, and I just think that's wonderful. But that is going to wrap up this video for me as well. I hope you enjoyed. I have many more moments to cover, and even some more out-of-the-box type Lolcow content on the way, so be sure to stay tuned and let me know if there are any moments you would like me to cover. But with that said, I hope you have a blessed day, and peace out.